I don't know if people understand it or not, but Bill of Rights gives you freedom, or it doesn't give you freedom. It acknowledges your freedom that you have that the government can't take. Because the government is out to take as much as they can of everything you have. Because that's basically, I mean, they have lawyers in there, and that's all lawyers do is take. Ask anybody that's dealt with them. And so not fighting for your rights, even though you don't have anything, you say maybe you don't have a gun, maybe you don't read the paper, or maybe you don't go to church. But there's still all those rights are part of something that the government isn't allowed to take. And by not standing up and saying, hey, you aren't allowed to mess with this stuff, then it allows them to infiltrate it, infringe it, build a wall around it, and then deconstruct it right in front of your eyes without you knowing it until there's loss of your right. And that's what's going on. It's a slow process. And you agree with each little intricate thing that you think, well, it doesn't matter that this little thing is happening. It doesn't matter that this little thing is happening. It's that the combination of all the stuff that they're doing against the rights, which they don't have. You see, they're almost like an entity among themselves. There's the citizens, and then there's the government. The government writes laws basically against the citizens. They say it's for. They word stuff so it sounds like they're doing stuff for you. But it's basically they're doing stuff against you. And your rights were or are for you, the citizen, to protect you from the government and all their infringements and the ways they go about stuff. And that's the reason the founding fathers put them in there, is because they know what government was, because they had just got done fighting a war with the government that was taking everything they could. And they said, you know what? They were taking taxes from us, and they were basically taking everything we stand for, or anything we try to stand for. And so what they did is they wrote down these rights, saying, you know what? They wouldn't be stopping. You know, they probably thought that they were going to be turned into slaves for the British. Is basically what I'm pretty sure what they was thinking is they thought, well, you know what? There's slavery, and they have a whole colony of people in this new country, and we can just turn them into slaves. We'll tax them to death. And then we'll say, well, you won't have to pay taxes if you just do everything for free. And then you just whatever food you can muster, you can eat, but the rest, everything else that you sell, is going to be for us. And that's basically, I'm pretty sure, what they was looking at. And so your rights are basically the only stand you have against slavery. And when you fight against or agree with government in taking rights, then you're agreeing with slavery. And most people in this country are against slavery, except for maybe people that own stock in corporations overseas that have children and slaves working for, making socks or whatever for a company overseas, wherever. But that's basically what your rights are, is to keep you from being slaves. And if you allow them to infringe that stuff, if you allow them to build walls up around it or change the wording for them and claiming it's for you, it's your loss. And that's what the founding fathers knew. And that's the reason they put the 2A, Second Amendment, in there and say you have to... these people will not stop. They will not. They're like antagonists. They know that there's a law against murder, and they can antagonize you knowing that you won't commit murder to stop their antagonization. And that's basically what it is. They're only the government antagonizing you is by taking your rights and turning you into slaves. So all these people that are fighting against the Second Amendment or fighting against citizen pride of being Americans, they're just basically stair-stepping their way to slavery. That's what I see.